The good tea has been in the cupboard so long, the cardboard has gone soft at the corners. We bought it for something. A guest, maybe. A Sunday that would feel deserving of the effort. The tin underneath it has a ring of rust where the lid meets the base. And we have noticed this and done nothing, because noticing and doing are two completely separate countries, and we have been living somewhere on the border between them for longer than we can accurately say. Meanwhile, the cheap bags stain the mug by 9 in the morning, and we stand at the window and drink something adequate and watch the street do what streets do. The coat on the good hanger. The weekend held open like a cupped hand. Not empty, just waiting to receive something that hasn't arrived yet. We keep our Saturdays slightly vague. We keep our plans at a certain remove from commitment. Because commitment would mean choosing, and choosing would mean the other options, close behind us like water over a stone. And some part of us is not ready to hear that sound. We tell ourselves this is patience, that we are simply preparing the ground. But the ground has been prepared for years now, turned and raked and left bare, and nothing has been planted. The thing no one says about waiting is how much of it feels like competence. We have become genuinely skilled at this. The held breath. The arranged, maybe. The life kept in a state of careful suspension, all its edges neat, all its promises intact, because none of them have been tested against the specific gravity of actually happening. An unmade choice sits in the chest like a stone that hasn't yet been thrown. It retains the full round weight of all its possible trajectories. The moment it leaves the hand, it becomes only one thing. One arc. One splash. One irreversible fact cooling in the water. So we hold it. Both hands. Standing very still. Late afternoon in November presses against the glass differently than any other light. It comes in low and specific, catching the dust on every horizontal surface. The shelf, the sill, the narrow top edge of the door frame. And for about 20 minutes, the entire room fills with a visibility that feels almost accusatory. All that accumulated stillness suddenly lit up and present. Every particle that has been drifting unremarked through the weeks, suddenly given a precise location and a slow, unwilled choreography. The motes don't know they're being watched. They don't adjust. They simply are what they are. suspended between the floor and the ceiling, between falling and floating. In a corridor where the afternoon has slowed to the pace of something almost geological, and the dust turns in the light with the patience of things that have no urgency because they have nowhere in particular to go. A winter garden seen from an upstairs window has a specific texture that photographs never quite capture. Not the whiteness of it, but the compression. The way the snow presses everything down to its essential shape. The roses reduced to their stumped and arthritic canes. The beds gone formless under weight. The whole careful arrangement of the summer revealed as temporary, as borrowed from a season that always intended to take it back. We press a finger to the cold glass. Underneath all that white, the roots are doing something we can't see and can't rush, in the dark and the cold, in their own time, in a language that has no word for hurry. The exhaustion of waiting is a very specific kind. Not the tiredness that comes from carrying heavy things, but the tiredness of the body held in readiness. Shoulders slightly raised, jaw slightly tight, every nerve faintly tuned to a signal that does not come. The kettle watched. The phone checked. The door listened to. All the small, unconscious performances of a self that believes the important thing is always approximately 5 minutes away, around the corner of the next hour, just past the edge of the current season. We wake already braced. We move through ordinary days as though they are the hallway and not the room. Something about the smell of an old house in winter. Wood smoke from somewhere and cold stone and the particular staleness of rooms that are heated but not lived in. Makes the body understand things the mind is still pretending not to know. The room is already here. It has always been here, with its scuffed skirting boards and its single overhead bulb and its window that sticks in the frame every time the temperature drops. There is no other room behind this one that will be more real, more worthy, more ready to receive whatever we have been so carefully preserving. The coat on its padded hanger. The tea in its softening box. All the vague and open weekends stacked behind us like receipts from purchases we never quite made. The November light is failing now, shifting from gold through amber toward the particular blue-gray of 5 o'clock. the color that arrives before darkness but isn't darkness yet. Something in between, something without a proper name. The sky, the color of a breath held too long, finally beginning to release. The dust motes slow. Not because anything has resolved, not because the waiting has ended, or the coat has been worn, or the tea has finally been considered worth opening, but simply because the light that made them visible is going. And without the light, they will return to being what they have always been, which is invisible, which is everywhere, which is drifting through these rooms in their patient, purposeless hundreds while we stand at the window with our adequate cup, watching the street lamps come on one at a time down the length of the road, each one a small orange fact appearing in the growing dark. And somewhere 3 streets over, a bus changes gear on a hill it has climbed 10,000 times before. The sound of it reaching us only after it has already crested and begun its long descent toward somewhere we have never been and have always, in some loose and unexamined way, been meaning to go.